Feels like I haven't been in front of the camera for a long time. What's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, back to making videos again. I just came back yesterday from a nice vacation in Spain. Had a wonderful time. But when I came home, the tanks were not looking very good. I was only gone for 1 week, but the week before the vacation I also was very busy. So basically all of the tanks haven't had any maintenance in 2 weeks more or less. And it's definitely noticeable. There's basically algae in every single tank. So today I'm going to show you guys the dirty update of all the tanks. Then I'm going to maintain, because usually when I show you guys the tanks they look in perfect condition, but that's not reality. This is reality after vacation. Needs a bit of work. So I'll show you guys the maintenance process as well and how we're going to bring them back into shape. So let's turn the camera around and show you guys the real update. So yeah, basically none of the tanks have had any maintenance in the past 2 weeks. And in the past week, they also haven't had any liquid fertilizer. So that's sort of the current situation. So let's actually start with the shelf, because the shelf actually has the least amount of issues. Starting on top with the no filter cube. Yeah, this one, we just have insane floating plants. The frog bed went insane, duckweed went insane. Crazy amount of roots on the frog bed. So that needs some thinning out. But besides that, it's okay. We have only a little bit of evaporation. So we're gonna do a nice water change and thinning out of the floating plants. And it's a bit hard to see, but I think overall everything is looking decent. So let's just move on quickly. We have the no filter vase. Basically the same thing here. Lots of duckweed on the top, some evaporation. Pearlweed needs some trimming. But besides that, it's doing okay. Still see a lot of shrimps in here. Lots of babies as well. So this one should be easy to maintain as well. Okay, then we're moving on to the IWAGUMI. This one is a bit dirty. We have lots of green dust algae on the glass. We have lots of green dust algae and black brush algae on the rocks. And we have some nutrient deficiencies on the carpet as well. So I think this is mostly just a nitrate deficiency. Yeah, haven't had any liquid fertilizer in a week, and haven't been dosing much before that either. So yeah, it's quite normal. Also, I haven't since I set up this tank, I haven't trimmed the carpet once, so that's also not really a good way to go about things. Shrimp are looking healthy though, nice and red, looking good. CO2 is still working just fine. So the plan with this tank is actually to rescape it quite soon. This will be a new project. So I don't think I will do too much about this algae issues. I'll just clean the glass, do a nice water change, clean the inflow and the outflow. But that's it really. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Because yeah, if I'm going to rescape it, then it's just a waste of time. So let's move on to the last tank on this shelf. This is the 20 liter cube. This is my longest running Aquascape. And you can definitely see that, because this one has the least amount of problems out of all of my tanks. This one is running the most stable, and even 2 weeks without any maintenance, there's basically no algae. There's maybe a little bit of a coating of green dust algae on the glass, but it's very, very minimal. So the only thing that's to be done here is a nice water change, some top up of fresh water, trim those few long stems over there, and maybe clean the foreground a little bit, but that's it. Oh yeah, on the bottom here there's an empty tank. That's also a new project coming up very soon. So that's the shelf, not too bad. Let's move on to worse issues, especially with the big shallow. Yeah, what can I tell you about the big shallow? There's a few things that I've done already that needed immediate attention. I did a top up of fresh water because we had a lot of evaporation. And I've just cleaned that sponge that's on the intake, because that one was very dirty and was kind of restricting the flow a little bit. Besides that, I haven't done anything yet. So what you see right now is how I found it yesterday when I came home. Issues here. yeah, we have a lot of algae. As you can see, the glass is coated with green dust algae, which is actually not too bad. I mean, green dust algae is easy to fix, but we also have blue-green algae. As you can see here, all along the substrate line, we have blue-green algae, and there's a little bit on the carpet as well. So I'm not very happy about that, but it's nothing we can't fix. So yeah, this one definitely needs a lot of maintenance. Seems like we have some diatoms as well. I'm not sure how that is possible, but yeah, with 2 weeks no maintenance, I guess it's not really surprising. Yeah, this aquarium is still very young. It's not really stable yet, so leaving it without maintenance for 2 weeks, yeah, you can expect some issues. But it's good. I can show you guys how I'm going to fix it and how I'm going to bring it back into shape. And it's just another learning procedure. So we're not going to get discouraged. We're just going to clean it up, fix it, and get it back into shape. Fish are doing really well, especially the Goldwing Daniels. I haven't seen any casualties. I think I had 1 or 2 casualties with the pygmy cories, but I've also seen a lot of eggs from them. They've been laying eggs. So there's a few of them over there. So I'm not sure if the eggs will hatch in here, but could be fun. So yeah, if you look at the tank through the front glass, you think, plants are looking not really healthy, everything is dirty. But if you actually look at it from the top, you can see that plants are actually really nice and vibrant, looking really colorful. Especially the crypts. Crypts are looking really healthy as well. They actually need a little bit of trimming because they're getting too big. So yeah, I think this one just needs a good maintenance session, a good cleaning session, and it will be back into shape in no time. I just hope I can get rid of the blue-green algae. I'm not sure if I will do a blackout. Maybe that's the best solution to get rid of it quickly. But I think I'll wait a few days. First clean it up properly, see how it looks after that, and then maybe we can do a blackout for a few days. Alright, so that's the update on the big shallow. So now let's move on to the 7-liter Scapers tank, which is right here. You guys saw this tank probably about a week ago when I did the cinematic update with the new fish. We have the other type of pygmy cories, Corridoras hastates. To get the cories to come out a bit more, I thought I'd add some dither fish. So I still had a small group of the yellow spotted blue eye rainbow fish, something like that. So I added them. Hopefully they will now come out a bit more, be a bit more comfortable. But we might need to buy a few more dither fish to help them feel more comfortable. So yeah, this tank also has some algae issues. Basically I just made a mistake with this one. I made a mistake by not removing the outflow, the skimming portion from the outflow. So when I came home yesterday, the water level dropped basically till here or so. So the skimming portion was just sucking in a lot of oxygen. Yeah, more oxygen means less CO2. So the CO2 levels dropped significantly, of course. And that resulted in some hair algae. That resulted in some black brush algae on the Bucephalandra, as well as on all the gravel. And yeah, we also have a bit of a nutrient deficiency with the Fissidens moss. You can see that it's a bit lighter green, almost yellow. It should be more dark green actually. I think we also have a bit of staghorn algae on the Hygrophila pinnatifida as well. So yeah, this one has a variety of algae, but nothing too crazy, and all those issues are easily fixed. It means CO2 levels are back to where they should be. So it's just a case of manually removing as much of algae as possible. Plants are looking really healthy, so that's good. I've trimmed these stem plants like a week before I left. So they're coming back now, looking really good. Yeah, the pipes need a bit of a clean, but overall it's not too bad. So that's the 70-liter Scapers tank. Now let's move on to the last tank. And that's the Betascape with Sammy. Sammy's still doing really good. He was fine without food for a week, but definitely hungry. Sammy's doing really good and his tank is completely overgrown. Full of Limnophila sessiliflora and full of duckweed and Amazon frogbait as well. Yeah, so this one also needs a heavy trimming session. I don't think there's a lot of algae though, so that's good. Yeah, just a nice trimming session and this one will be back in shape in no time. So I think a little sneak preview of the Forestcape. There's another video coming soon. So I think I'll just start with the big shallow because this one is the most work. And this one is bugging me the most. It's looking the most filthy, so yeah, let's start with this one. Alright, that already feels a lot better. Just finished cleaning the glass and cleaning the substrate layer. Just wedging a old driver's license in between the substrate layer. Removed some old water. Next step is to clean the rocks a little bit. Just take a toothbrush, start scrubbing the rocks. And I also want to clean the hair grass because somehow there's some diatoms or something on the hair grass. So I'll just clean the hair grass a little bit. I always go through it with a fork just to thin it out a little bit, clean it a little bit, and then we'll see how we go from there. So with this long hair grass, just once in a few weeks, I have to just go through it with a fork, just like this, just to basically thin it out a little bit. Because the thing is with this hair grass, see, you get all these pieces. The thing is with this long hair grass, it doesn't spread through runners. It basically grows new plants at the tips of the hair grass. So let me show you here. Yeah, it's a bit hard to see. So basically here you have a new plant and that has just been growing on the tips of the other grass. So that's how it spreads. It's a bit weird, and that's why you sometimes just have to just go through it just to keep it clean, keep it neat. Otherwise it just starts looking very messy. Alright, now it's time for a large water change. I've installed a skimmer to get rid of some of the excess plant leaves that are floating around. So I'll do a large water change. I'll probably clean the inflow and outflow. And I think other than that, I'm not really going to do much today because plants don't need any trimming. We just need to get rid of the blue-green algae, and I think we can get rid of that just by establishing the balance again, just keeping up with nutrient dosing, keeping up with regular maintenance. It should go away by itself. If not, we will do that blackout. Alright, it's actually been 2 days since I cleaned all of the tanks. Yeah, and they're all looking much better already. Makes me feel really good as well. So let's turn the camera around and let me show you guys how the tanks are looking right now. Alright, so let's start with the big shallow. Looking much better already. Just a bit of cleaning makes a world of a difference. So I cleaned the glass, I've cleaned the substrate line, the rocks are clean with the toothbrush, and I've cleaned the in and the outflow. And basically that's all I've done, and a large water change of course. And with the outflow I've removed the this part. It's called a reliever. So this was giving a very gentle flow in the aquarium, still moving all the way from left to right. But now I've removed that and now the flow is actually quite strong, which I think will help stabilize the aquarium a bit better and also distribute the nutrients better, the CO2 better. And I think actually the fish will like it a lot as well. Other than that, there's not much to say about it. Plants are still healthy, carpet just needs to fill in more. It's taking a long time with the glossostigma. We still have some traces of the blue-green algae, especially along the substrate line, but it's not that bad, and I just hope it will go away by itself. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but let's see. If it doesn't go away by itself, I will do that blackout, but fingers crossed. Okay, next up is the no filter cube. It's very hard to film this cube because there's always light reflecting from the sand, and there's light reflecting on the floating plants. So it's looking a bit darker on camera than it actually is in real life. But yeah, with this one I've basically removed almost all of the frog bit just to get some light in the aquarium again. But I did leave most of the duckweed because it's a very strong light that's on this no filter cube. And if I don't have any floating plants, I'll definitely get some algae. So most of the duckweed is still in there. Other than that, I've just cleaned the glass and did a 50% water change. That was it. Yeah, I still like how this cube is looking. I think it's over a year old already. But surprisingly, these no filter cubes are doing really well. And then we have the no filter vase. Finally, we can see actually inside the vase again. I removed a bunch of the pearlweed, I removed a bunch of duckweed. So now we finally have some light again. And we can see that, yeah, everything is doing good. I also see a bunch of baby shrimp. So they're really breeding like crazy in here. It's just super nice how simplistic this vase is, and it's doing so well. It's requiring very little maintenance, very little time and effort. And that's actually quite nice comparing to all of my other high-tech tanks that definitely need weekly trimming, weekly maintenance. So I kind of love these simple tanks. The IWAGUMI is looking super fresh again, and this one definitely needed some cleaning. So I cleaned the glass, I've cleaned the in and outflow, cleaned the diffuser. What else did I clean? Actually, that was it. Just those things, and the water change of course. After I was done cleaning this aquarium, I added a large dose of the liquid carbon, glutaraldehyde, just to kill off all that BBA that's on the rocks. And as you can see, it's already turning reddish, pinkish. So I know it's dying and probably will disappear by itself very soon. Yeah, the IWAGUMI will be taken down in the very near future, just to make space for another project that I have in mind. But this was a fun aquarium, super simple IWAGUMI with a carpet of Hemianthus scuba that I've never trimmed, and yeah, the moss kind of just appeared by itself. Alright, and then the 20-liter cube. This one really didn't need any maintenance, to be honest. So the only thing I did is I trimmed a few stems of the rotala. I cleaned the glass and I did a 50% water change, and that was it. Super easy aquarium to maintain. Yeah, after 2 years it's still super stable. I am considering rescaping this aquarium, but I'm not sure yet. I still have a few other projects that are coming up first. So when they are done, we can see how this one is holding up. And then we have the 70-liter Scapers tank. I think it's looking great again. There's barely any algae left. The little bit of hair algae that was in there was very easy to remove.
I've cleaned the glass, did a large water change, cleaned the inlet and the outlet, cleaned the diffuser. I vacuumed the substrate a little bit, and that was it. The cories also seem to be a bit more comfortable now. I think because I'm home now, and because there's people moving. There's people moving around, and there's people sitting in front of the aquarium and disappearing again, so they're a bit more used to, yeah, I guess the movement inside the house. They seem to be a bit more comfortable now, so I'm really happy with that. If you get a bit more closer, you still see some black brush algae and some staghorn algae, but it's very minimal, and I'm sure it will die off by itself. I might dose some liquid carbon every now and then, and that should help to get rid of it as well. I do think that I have to start trimming the moss again soon, because there's barely any space left in between the left and the right rock. The moss is already touching each other almost. So yeah, probably another week or 2 weeks and then I'll have to trim the moss. So this is the only tank that I didn't touch. Sammy's tank is still overgrown, still with a little bit of algae, but I think Sammy doesn't mind. Yeah, I cleaned all of the aquariums in one day, in one evening actually. And when I was done with the rest, I was pretty tired, so I thought this one is still okay. I think Sammy actually likes the overgrown plants and all the floating plants, so this one we will get a maintenance session some other day. Alright, that's the full update complete. Feels good to have all the tanks back in shape again. As always, I'm very curious which tank is your favorite, so comment down below, let me know which aquarium you like the most. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you click the subscribe button. Also press the like button, really helps me out a lot. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.